Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the vlog to finish. I haven't done a video in a while. This video will cover when is it okay to not use a rig in a 3D animated character. That is what I'll be covering today. Now, before I get started, a couple of things I do want to get out of the way. Hey, anybody who tries to copyright claim this video, as you can see here, let me make sure this is being recorded. You can see that I got this version of the entertainer from Google. So I will mention that if anyone tries to claim it, okay? Because I do love this song. All right, and for everybody else, I do want to say that the Godot tutorials are coming. They're just taking a lot longer. Me and Jebediah are really planning out to make the best course that we can. It is taking a lot more time than we thought. Who thought making a curriculum would take so much time? One of the big reasons for that is a lot of people are English as a second language who actually watch or are interested in our content. And so we are making the content, we're writing out all the words that we're going to say in English so that we can provide transcripts and subtitles for anyone who's trying to learn with us. Again, we'll be focusing on Godot, understanding the basics, and or showing how to use Rakugo, the story management plugin. We're calling it something else, not a plugin, framework, the story management framework, so that we can hopefully get that going and out to you guys. All right. So anyway, there's been a lot of great stuff that's going on in my life. This might be related to a commercial project. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Cross your fingers. But until then, I'm going to show you how to do these techniques. So this character, if you haven't figured it out, is completely doesn't have any bones. It's actually a bunch of smaller geometry, I guess for lack of a better word, that's grouped together, and it's completely animated in Godot. And I'm going to be talking about this right now, about when do you need to animate in Godot without a bone rig in 3D for a 3D character, and when you should. So off the bat, one of the things I noticed when I actually, and I'll put a tutorial I found. This right here is this is an attempt to actually put a bone rig to the character that I have shown you. This was an earlier build before I started messing with heads and stuff like that. And as you can tell, now to be fair, like I haven't weight painted this. I use the automatic weight paint. But as you can tell, because of the deformations, the character just gets deformed. Now if I wanted to weight paint this, I could probably get a lot more interesting effects and stuff like that, and I am tempted to do that so that I can actually get like some really cool animations out of it. But unfortunately for what I want, this is just too much. Luckily I can use this for another project that I've learned, but here this is where rigging has absolutely failed me. Again, even churning the head, so forth and so on. So that, oh, whoa, did it save or close? Okay, this is gonna close it, okay. So what I ended up doing then is I created the body, I got rid of the rig, I completely created the body, and then I separated each part. So here's one of the parts that I was separated, and then there's another part that is also separated, so forth and so on. And so let me talk about separation really quick. One thing you do want to do when you do separate the head and stuff like that, a couple of quick shortcuts in Blender that I think are very useful. And I'll put a link to the videos that I got this from. I got these from YouTube tutorials. Is one thing you want to do is you want to note that this tool right here actually is one way to set the point of the pivot point, because you are going to need pivot points, especially in Godot. So right here, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to select a thingy object. I'm going to say set origin. I'm going to set the origin to the 3D cursor, and it's right there, and that really sucks. So what I want to do here is I actually want to select the selection tools, I want to put the magnet on, and I want to go for edges. It worked the best for me, so I put edges and the closest, so forth and so on. For me, I guess it's not a left click. No. Hey, control left click. Oh, for Pete's sakes, I was doing this before. Why can't I do it again? Yep. It's my life. It should be moving it. Why are you not? Why is it not moving? Okay, can I? Really? There you go. Click that on. It's like it's a weird selection tool. There we go. Okay. As you can tell here, it's actually moving on the edges. I could have gone with verts, but I selected edges because that was just easier. When I finally get inside, what I'll do here is I'll go right here. I do have a middle I want to get to, so I will switch it to vertex. And then I will click on this, and as you can see, it just rounds it right in there. It's really cool. Again, I don't have a vertex here, so I'm going to go back to edges. Edge, and then move it along the edge, and right in the middle right there is good for me. Then I just go to object, and I go to set origin to geometry. And bada bing, bada boom, there it is, and that's fantastic. So now with that in place, I imported these things into Godot one at a time. And you gotta be careful how you import it. If you just simply drag and drop, it might mess you up. So actually each one of these should I go new inherited? Okay. Left arm's already one, right? Oh my gosh, you gotta be... Okay, right arm. Tell me... Really? Really? Because I already saved scene as... Right arm. Okay, well I digress. Anyway, you want to be careful how you import these because sometimes it won't just let you save. They let me save this time. Fantastic. Okay, after I imported these body parts in here, the animation was relatively simple. I just selected like a body part like the head. I went here. I made an animation player, which is easy if you need to make an animation player. Just grab an animation player, right? Before that, I made a kinematic body. I imported then all these in. Again, that's pretty easy. This is not for beginners. This is my devlog. I do apologize. You just go to custom node. You click on and you find the kinematic body. I went with kinematic body because that seemed to be the best default. I mean, it's already here in my automatics. But if it's not in here, you can also type it up. Kinematic body, there it is. I click that and then I set up everything from there. After I dragged and dropped all the stuff in, it asked me if I needed a collision shape. I set a simple collision shape right here. This is for later, of course, and this is right here is this box. Without this, it would not let me save it. That's why I added it. So I have a simple collision detection for the box so that it'll basically be if this is an isometric game or whatever game, it'll basically be this box moving around and the animations will just fake things. This type of character, as you can see here, can be used for like a 2.5D game, like a platformer, and it should land and relatively be easy to program, given the fact it's just a giant rectangle versus trying to program collision on every body part. All right, enough said. Now, as I said before, you look at the head. Since the point was set up correctly in Godot, this is now the head here. I can turn the head from the pivot point. Could go here. You know what I mean? Could say, okay, that's a little bit too far. I can actually just go into rotation here, and I could have it say, like, hey, are you awesome, Zon? That down here, and it can shake, like, go like, no, you're not. Oh my gosh, this head's all broken. I digress. Now, the other cool thing about this is that the way it's set up is that you can then have detachable heads, customizable heads, so forth and so on, which is pretty cool. It's just like an added feature. The body is relatively simple, and that is meant by design. And then finally, that's how I put it all together. All of the parts have a pivot that should be in the right spot, and this was all done in Blender. None of this stuff is something that is amazing or new, but it's stuff that I've like figured out and put together. So that is it. I also, as I kind of wrap this up and put it under 10 minutes, I do want to put out this as a, I am looking for more people to work with. So there's like a bug, man. I don't know where, oh, it's not too bad. Oof, I hope that doesn't get in the computer. I digress. This is open call. I am trying to expand my Godot developers lists. I've been very fortunate to find a developer who does have internet experience with web hosting and getting protocols going, and it's going to be cool. We're going to get a decent budget, and we're going to implement some really cool stuff. Well, we might. You know, pray for me, wish me well, whatever it is. And again, in response to that, I'm not just trying to brag. I am. With this news comes opportunity. I am hoping to find more developers that are at different levels to potentially bring on to a team and or make games for as a job. And it's really tricky because this thing is kind of fallen in my lap. And a lot of people that I do work with have contracts or work for companies, so forth and so on, or can just give me advice because they themselves cannot officially take money or work in any capacity on an actual game project, quote unquote. I messed that up somehow, but you get what I'm saying. So I'm looking for people that can work and want to work in the game industry using Godot as an engine. So this is an open roll call. I am extending my network. I'd like to see at least a portfolio, customer feedback, whatever the heck it is, or just talk to you, see if we can get along, if our comedy and our politics mesh well enough. I'm not saying I want people to believe the same things I believe in, but at least want people that are tolerant of the stuff I believe in, as I'm pretty tolerant of most people's others' beliefs. That is a big thing to say. So again, I'm going to end it here. Let's recap. Me and Jebediah are really working hard on the tutorials. This is kind of like a more vlog, but I hope this helps. Again, if you have any questions about this, you can put them in the comments below, wherever or if you can find me on the internet. And again, I like to put an open call out there that I'm really looking to find professional Godot developers or people that are very close to actually making quality Godot products, so forth and so on, for paid work. Yeah. I know. Again, hey, if any of that applies to you, especially if you're a person who wants to make video games for a living, put a link to a portfolio or let me see some reviews, some custom reviews, wherever you've sold your services as freelance, so forth and so on. Insert catchy phrase here. If you're not trying to make games for others, I at least hope you're trying to make games for yourself, and that's why you're here, and I hope I'm helping you on your journey. Again, I'll say it again. Insert that catchy phrase here. Bye-bye.